Hey, what's up guys? Morning. It's Tuesday morning here at the Old Barn Homestead, the shop there. Hey, this morning I got a little project to make some parts for these dump trucks. And for those of you that don't know, I've got a customer down the road that takes these large Mack chassis and huge dump beds and does the final assembly on it. A lot of times they're missing the parts they need. And so I thought I'd just walk you through the process that I go through to make up, some parts from an example that they give me. So let's go in the shop and go ahead and take a look. All right, so here's a typical kind of job that I get in, and I thought I'd just walk you through the the details of coming up with this. This is a strap that goes on the gas tanks for those large dump trucks for the people that the company down the road here that puts those together. So they need more of these made. They want to get 6 of them made, and they don't have any blueprints or drawings. They just gave me one of these, so we're just gonna copy it, and I'll just walk you through how I do it, and then you guys can let me know if you would do something different on this. So first thing I want to do is get the bolt spacing from center to center. But in order to do that, I'm just going to go bottom to bottom, which should be the exact same thing. So I come up with 4 inches, 249 thousandths. So we'll just go top to top to just kind of verify that. And it does look about the same from top to top, bottom to bottom. So that should put us right on where we need to be, center to center. So I'm just going to write that down. Let's see. 249. Man, my writing's terrible. 4.249. Okay. So the next thing we want to get is the hole diameters. So because when you get ready to do the CAD on this, I mean, anytime that you're going to try to copy something, you just look for geometric shapes. So what you see here is we see two round, circles basically. We see an inner circle and an outer circle, and then we see a rectangle, and that's it. I mean, so two sets of circles copied, and then a rectangle. So let's get the ID of these. And I don't know if they kind of look plasma cut. You can see how that hole is blown out. But it also has an embossed set of letters on there. So I don't know if that was, and it appears to have a casting line down the center. So maybe it is cast, and and that was something from the casting there. I'm not sure. But anyway, so let's get the ID of the holes. The top side of the holes look more round. You can see the back side's kind of blown out there. So we will take a look at the ID first, and we'll take a couple of different measurements. So I'm coming up with 672 thousandths, and these are just clearance holes. So when I cut these, I'm going to probably cut them a little bit bigger than that, just to make sure that I get it right. So now let's look at the OD. Well, let me double check this one down here on that, and we'll write that down. So yeah, see, that one's actually bigger. 706. 687. 711. So I'm going to make it 720 thousandths just to get it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go ID 7. Oh, should be 0.720. Man, I can't write today. 0.720. All right, so now we'll look at the OD of these circles. And it's basically 1.5 inches. We'll double check it. Yeah. So OD is 1.49. and they told me the outside dimensions of this was not critical. In fact, they said I can just make it square with 2 holes. The hole spacing was the critical part. But I'm gonna make it just like this, and no reason why I shouldn't. It's not that much extra work to do. So now I need to get the width of this rectangle, and it appears to be 122. So I'll just grab it in a couple of spots here. Yeah, if I get it right at the casting line, 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna make it 1, 2, 3. So width 1.23. So now I have everything I need to be able to do the CAD work on that. And for those of you that don't watch my, all right, for those of you that do not watch my other channel, I actually live in here in the shop, and some of you may or may not know that. And so we're just going to go into the living room, which is, you'll notice some of the things that I've made on the channel and so forth. And so here's where I do my CAD work, Fusion 360, that kind of thing. So we'll get you set up and take these dimensions and put them over into Fusion 360. Okay, now you see we're in Fusion 360. We'll go ahead and make this full screen. This is for the Lone Star company. You see I've got some other parts I've made for them, but we're gonna just close this window out to maximize our space. And we will go and create a new design. And then, so the first thing we're going to do is the circle. So I'm going to go hit a circle here, and it's going to be a center point circle. And we're going to choose this plane here, and I'm going to draw this circle off of the center axis to lock it down to that. So if you look at our measurements that we took, we're going to do the ID first, and the ID is 0.72. Now there's a lot of different ways you could do this. You know, lots of people do it lots of different ways. I'm just going to show you the way I do it. Some of it may be correct, some of it may be sort of hacked, you know, but this is just how I'm going to do it. One way you could do it is just draw half of it and then mirror it, and that would save you, you know, manually drawing lots of stuff. You know, you don't have to draw half of it. But for now, I'm just going to do it the way I would do it. So we got one circle there. That's the ID. I'm going to draw another one that's going to be also 720, and that'll be the other circle. And we know that the distance between centers is 4.29. That's how we measured it. So I am going to do a D for distance and click that and bring this down. And I'm just going to top in 4.249, which is the actual distance. So now we have our distance between the two circles. The next thing I'm going to do is draw the outer circles, and the ODs are 1.49. So I'm going to just drag that up a little bit and top in 1.49. Same thing over here. .49. All right, so now we have that, and so here's the part that, you know, you could probably do a lot of different ways. You just need to draw two lines between those, but that line, you know, they need to be 1 1/4 inches apart. So here's how I'm going to do it. First thing I'm going to do is hit L for the line command, and I'm just going to draw a line between these two, connect them together, and I'm going to go up here and put a sketch point. And you'll see that as I hover on this line, it's going to give me a little triangle that indicates the midpoint of the line. So that is where I'm going to put that sketch point. You'll see why I did that in a second. So now I'm going to draw a rectangle. So I'm going to go up here and choose rectangle, and I'm going to do a center rectangle. So I'm going to make the dimensions of this rectangle. We know it's, let's see, I'm going to make this, I'm going to make it 6 inches. I'm going to make it 5 inches long. And we know by the dimensions that we took that it's 1.23 inches wide. All right. whoops, I messed that up. So let's do it again. 1.23 tall by, I'm gonna just make it 6 inches long, okay? So now we have that, let's change that to 5. Just bear with me here, I'm just kind of working as I go, all right? So now what we want to do is, you see this center point and that center point, we want to get those lined up so that this is directly in the center. So we're going to come over here and use the coincident constraint and click on that one and click on that one, and you'll see that it brings it down in there and overlays it. But now you see we've got all these extra lines, and if we just tried to cut this like it is, it would try to cut every one of these lines. So we just got to go trim those out. So I'm going to hit the T command for trim, and we need to get rid of that, that. We need to get rid of that, and we need to get rid of that and that. Okay, so that now is looking more like what we want, so we got to get rid of that one. Got to find all these little extra lines. This center line, we definitely have to get rid of that. It would try to cut that out as well. Yeah, so we're just deleting stuff. And I remember seeing John Saunders do this a long time ago, where he, just did his sketching by, sketching out the major. I can see I deleted something I didn't need to delete there. So let me go back. Yeah, so let me get the T command back and get some of this out. I deleted that inner circle and didn't mean to. All right, so I think I've got all that now. So really the last thing that we need to do is extrude this. Oh, no, I need to get rid of that. Yeah, so we need to extrude this and convert it from a 2D to 3D, and then we'll come in and add some fillets in here to just soften up these corners a little bit. So I'm gonna go up here and say stop sketch, and I'm gonna hit E for extrude, and we're gonna extrude this. And this is going to be a 1/2 inch thick, so we're going to go 0.5 there. And you see we have our part. So now I'm going to come up here and go modify and add a fillet. And I don't know how deep these fillets are. The fillet's going to go, I'm just going to say 0.1, just to add a little fillet in there. All right, and we'll just repeat that. So 0.1. And we'll rotate this around so we can get a look at the other side and grab their fillets. Okay, so I'll go fillet. Yeah, you can just hit F. I could have done all these at, selected multiple, done them all at the same time. So now we have a little softening right there. Okay, so I think we're done. Now the thing about it is, when you're doing 2D, I don't know that I just, I might have should have added those fillets in the 2D, because what I need to do is now go back down here and edit this sketch. And yeah, see, it didn't carry those into the because it's in the basic sketch. So what I need to do is add the fillets here. So I'm gonna go and do that now. So we'll add that right there, 0.1. And this is just a repeat. Whoops, 0.1. Sorry for the audio there. Fillet, oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Sketch a fillet. 0.1. And the last one is 0.1. All right, and so I think you can do, the cam in Fusion 360 for, if you just go here, but the post-processor for plasma cutting, I've not found it to work very well. So I always use Sheetcam that came with my plasma table to do the cam. So I just do the CAD in here. So from here, I'm just gonna go right click on this and save as DXF. And I'm gonna call this gas tank bracket. And I'm just going to stick this on the desktop of this machine because we're gonna sneaker net it over to the let's see, let me get you out of this. Yeah. So you can see, let me move that over. You can see my gas tank file there. You can see where I've done multiples. So I'll just copy this over to my other computer and we'll go ahead and get it cut out. So I may show you the CAM work on that as well, just to kind of bring you along. But this is it for the CAD part. We're all drawn up and ready to go. All right, so we're going to take our file that we just came up with, the gas tank bracket.dxf, and we're going to drop this onto this, which is our thumb drive here. And we'll sneaker net this on out into the shop. And you see our plasma computer here. I mean, I could use my Google Drive, I could use any number of different things, but again, so anyway, I'm gonna skip taking you through my IT setup here and my lack of sophistication on that. But anyway, so we're inserted here, and I'll get you set up and we'll walk through the Sheetcam, and that should. All right, so what we want to do is go up here and click on import drawing. So this will import our DXF file, and you see the gas tank bracket there from our thumb drive. And then this will come up and ask you, is this what's the scaling of it? Is it metric? Or you can actually adjust the scaling here if you want to go custom, and this defaults to metric, so 25 millimeters equals 1 inch, but we're going to just do it in inch. But if you wanted to make this bigger, you would just say, if you just said 1 to 50, that would mean a 1 to 2 ratio. It would make it twice as big. But we're just going to go with that, and then now you see our part in there, and you'll notice that very small chamfer that it added, or fillet. That if you looked at the original part, it didn't have a very large fillet there, so I think we're good. And we could have left that off. It wouldn't have been a big deal. But the one thing that we have to do here is go to Edit Contours. We're going to right click on these inner holes, and we're going to move them to a new layer, because right now it's all on the same layer. And we have to have two different cut paths, or types of cut paths. So we're just going to call these holes. And then I'll go to move this one over to holes as well. So now I have those on two different layers. And we're just going to add the tool path. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to select the type of offset. So this is going to be all. All right, I've shown this before, but I'm going to walk you through my process to get sheets on and off the table. And I've got a 1/2 inch sheet partially cut that's up on the top of my trailer there, and I just need to get it hooked up to the gantry crane and moved over. So I'll probably fast forward you through some of this, because it's honestly it's painful for me to do, and it'll be painful for you to watch. But I've got some stuff on the table. I'm going to move that out of the way, and then we'll go through the process of getting the thing moved over and go from there. So I'll fast forward you through that. right, well, you saw me hassling around with that. Hopefully I got you through that pretty quickly. So what I'll do is just come up here, you know, and place this in a few spots and see where I can get some out of it. And I probably can get 2 there, but kind of finicky, you know, to position it and get the angle there. This one probably is going to be easier to do. Yeah. So I need 6 of them. Or I can get one out right there, straight up and down. And one out right there, straight up and down. Doesn't leave much room for error there. Remember, you have to leave that lead in and lead out, and you can't have them too close together, otherwise they'll want to cut into each other. All right, let me get this figured out, and we'll get them get our magnets off, and then we will get those cut. All right, this is our mock controller screen where we set all the details about how the machine and the controller is going to run. We have loaded our G-code from Sheetcam in. This is the G-code window over here. This is the commands that it's going to process and know, you know, the XY coordinates and all that on where to cut and where to go. So this is 1/2 inch. We're running with an 85 amp tip. The book says 48. I'm going to go 43, just knowing the machine, and so we're going to put 43 there. We're going to cut this at 0.07. And let's see, we're going to 0 out because I have the gantry already slid over into place off camera. You didn't see that. So we're 0'd out. We've got 3 that are going to go vertical. We got 3 that are going to go horizontal. Let me change this. It somehow didn't take. So the book calls, oh, and we need to go 0.5 on this. So yeah, we should be good to go there. The plasma machine, let me show you that. See that orange light? That's got an error message on it. I think it's got error 50 on it because I took the tip out of it and cleaned it, and anytime you take the tip out and put it back in, you get that error. So we're going to turn it off and back on. To clear the error. So we're all set now. We're set to 85. We got air pressure up, and we're just going to come over here and hit our cycle start button. And then I'll move you around so you can see it cut. All right, so I cut 3 out there. We'll wait for that to shut off. I was just going to point out something here. The reason it's important to put that long lead in is the pierce point. It puts all this dross up on top of the surface, and the reason I ran it at 70 thousandths cut height is because if you have this too close where it pierces, the torch will move across this dross, and it'll grab on the torch and move it and cause, well, you see that where it came back across there, drug it, and then it just sort of half cut, and, you know, and nipped the corner off, and now I can't get that out of there. I mean, I will be able to eventually, but So it just makes messes like that, and it looks like it might have, maybe not, I can't tell, but we'll have to see about getting that center out. So there's little things like that that are kind of annoying that you have to pay attention to, and sometimes you want to get really aggressive, especially on expensive material, and be able to put parts really close together and all that, but sometimes you just can't. You know, that's about as close together as we could have got that, and you know, you see our neighboring pierce point did not interfere with our part here, so we had maybe a 1/16 clearance. So I was just about right there for that. So I'll get our other 3 cut going this way, and then we'll go from there and go get these delivered. All right, here's our stack of completed parts. I just took the scraping burr here that Reed Eichner sent and just cleaned them up a little bit, knocked the dross off the back of them. But you know, here's the original one that they sent, and then here's the one that I made. Just kind of, you know, you see those holes line up pretty good there. So they have a U-bolt, and it must be 5/8, but it's a U-bolt that goes underneath that, and it's a strap for the gas tank. So I'm gonna go get those delivered, and that'll be it for this video. Thanks guys, see you.